It's what could have been for UW-Eau Claire's Blue Gold marching band members.
Unfortunately, COVID-19 had other plans in store.
But the pandemic isn't drowning the drive of hundreds of Blue Golds and one director with a passion to see them play.
Members are masking up, marching 6 feet apart, and still making music happen.
But they're not doing it at Carson Park as planned.
Walk with us. Instead, their passion for playing will be on display here at Simpson Field.
Now, the sidelines may be void of fans, but the Blue Golds aren't letting that stop them from performing for us tonight.
UW-Eau Claire's motto is the power of and.
Tonight we'll show you the power of band.
The Power of Band, sponsored locally by WNB Financial, more than a bank.
The band is 415 members strong now, but 20 years ago, there were only 60 members.
The BMB has a rich and unique history that will take you on an unbelievable journey of trials and triumph.
And ladies and gentlemen, the University of Wisconsin-Eau Claire Marching Band.
There was a time when the band was actually very good, back in the days of Don George. Of course, a very different style of band, very old style military.
4 decades ago, the passion for playing in the BMB was running on E, and nobody was there to help fuel the university's marching culture.
It went through a lot of director changes. It wasn't the director of bands who was doing the band anymore. They kind of pawned it off on different people among the faculty, and nobody took ownership of it.
That changed in the fall of 2000 when Dr. Randy Dickerson packed up his belongings at the University of Illinois and became a Blue Gold.
When I got here, there were 60 people.
59 of them were required to be there.
It's not drudgery. It's something you're supposed to want to do. That first semester when I walked in and I saw this, I said, I'm not going to have my name associated with something like this, because I love marching band. I've always been a proponent of marching band. And so if I'm going to be a part of this, we're going to grow it and we're going to do it right.
Let's try that again, 32 count.
From then on, Dickerson was determined to make a name for the BMB. But first, he had to make a band.
I had to start slowly. I did make some mistakes. I tried to make it kind of core style, very modern. It took until the 3rd or 4th year before I realized, no, we got to really make this fun for the students. So I changed everything. I changed the style of marching. We started using a lot of body choreography and dance. Then everything just hit, and it hit all at once.
In 2003, the band hit 100 members. In 2004, 135.
And I called the Green Bay Packers and I said, hey, I've got an actual marching band over here now. We'd love to come do a halftime show. They were reluctant, but they let us come do a halftime show in 2004. And from that moment on, it just built. We were adding about 30 people to the band every year.
But the band wasn't quite big enough yet.
We only had 5 trumpet players. And that just wasn't, you can't survive with 5 trumpet players. So I went out to the high schools and got about 3 or 4 more, and to make it a kind of decent sized section.
But it wasn't long before the band could carry its own rhythm.
We accepted 80 trumpet players this year.
And a total of 415 marching band members. When Dickerson walked into his first fall semester at UWEC,
at that time, nobody was listening to the band.
But not anymore.
When BMB plays, it drowns out anything else that's going on. It's loud.
Dickerson says the band has grown every year and hit its highest at 475 members in 2019. But Nick, that number dropped in 2020 due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
While some marching bands around the country hit a sour note by deciding not to play this fall, the BMB plays on. Our own Katrina Lim shows you how these musicians are adapting to playing during the pandemic.
1, 2, 3.
Next to the Haas Fine Arts Center at UW-Eau Claire on this particular night, 120 students are marching to the beats of each other's instruments. Besides being just a quarter of the band, you'll likely notice things look a little different.
180 of these students are freshmen, and I've never seen their faces. I've seen their eyes, but I've never seen their faces yet.
Almost every member of the Blue Gold Marching Band dons a mask every practice, and some masks have mouth holes so musicians can play their wind instruments. The COVID-19 pandemic has forced the band to scale down practices, separating 415 members into 3 bands, 1 drumline, and the color guard. And each group plays together a different day of the week. While the band still marches, the movements are synced to stay 6 feet away. To safely hold practice, band members had to find creative ways to hold their germs.
In order to try and minimize the spread of aerosols, we take these belt covers, we stick them on our instruments. They're actually made of pantyhose. You take 2 pairs of pantyhose, tie them in a knot, cut the end off, and slip it over the bell. And that's what's been recommended by the CDC.
Trumpet section leader and senior Eleanor Slodick admits the changes can be challenging.
I feel like I would kind of describe it as a whirlwind. We have to adapt and be very flexible with what's going on.
Senior Alex Mazer feels the same.
I think the part that I miss the most is seeing my whole section and the whole band. There's 2/3 of the band that I never get to see, and I have some close friends in those groups. And there's freshmen that I'll never really get to know because they're in the other groups.
Although all their trips and games are canceled,
What we got on 7? Da, 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 da.
director Randy Dickerson is keeping the band upbeat.
We're concentrating very hard on making it just a really positive experience for everybody. The main goal is to make sure that they have enough fun that they're going to come back next year.
The band was cleared to play this fall after it worked closely with university administration and the music department.
It took months of planning and researching to learn how to safely play together. Well, I think it's time to see more of our BMB members in action. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, this next song will have us swinging from a chandelier, Shannon.
Well, maybe not literally. Take a look.
Come on, turn the radio on. It's Saturday and we won't be long with these hits from pop mainstays Sia. We're just holding on for dear life. Don't look down, don't open your eyes. Join the BMB as we fly like a bird through the night and swing from the chandelier. outer space. But there's no sad look upon your face. Get your fix with the hottest hit of 1976. You can dance, you can jive, and you'll definitely have the time of your life as the B&B brings you Dancing Queen.
So you may be wondering, what's next for these marching Blue Golds?
When Dr. Dickerson became director, 150 members was a dream size for this band. In 2020, the B&B accepted 500 students into the band. And while 85 of them are not participating this fall, likely due to COVID-19, the band still fills an entire football field.
Dickerson says the goal is not to grow the B&B in size, but instead grow the brand of the band.
We're reaching farther and farther out. We have kids from about 10 or 11 states right now. We would like to increase that number from out-of-state areas and become known as the place to come pretty much anywhere in the country for marching band.
Despite a year of ups and downs for the Blue Gold Marching Band, Dr. Dickerson is just thankful to see his Blue Golds marching on.
And you saw that here tonight at Simpson Field.
But the future is bright for these Blue Golds. Walk with us. Now the stadium may be empty now,
but there is hope that come 2021, the B&B will be able to perform here at Carson Park once again.
The Power of Band, sponsored locally by WNB Financial, more than a bank.